Hey, what's up you guys? It's me Raashi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. It's been a while since your girl uploaded a video. I'm aware and I'm incredibly sorry about it. I know all the OGs are probably wondering why it's been such a long time since I uploaded my last video. A lot of y'all were wondering if I stopped making videos. I get a lot of DMs asking me if I did stop making videos, if I'm not gonna be doing this anymore. It's just that my second semester started and it's been so much work that I've not had time to do YouTube. Basically where I've just been going to college and coming home. I haven't been doing anything interesting. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into today's video. In today's video, I'm basically gonna be talking about applying to colleges abroad. I'm gonna take y'all through the whole process right from the start to the end till you get your acceptance letter, and even the steps that you have to follow after you get your acceptance letter. Now I know that application season is coming around the corner, and a lot of y'all that are planning to go to colleges abroad are now looking at options or even figuring out what the steps are to apply, and hence I thought it would be like a good time to make this video just so I could help some of y'all out. A lot of y'all have been reaching out to me on my Instagram and sending me questions that y'all had about studying abroad, or even questions that y'all had about George Brown specifically. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm going to mention this again. I study in Toronto, Canada, and I go to the George Brown College, and I'm in the Baking and Pastry Arts Management program. Now I said this time and again on this channel, but people still seem to be really confused about what it is that I'm doing in my course. So I'm just gonna reinstate that for all the new people that just joined onto this channel. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're gonna have a clear idea of what the steps are that you should follow. I don't waste much time boring y'all with this intro because this video is gonna be pretty long. If you're someone that's planning to go study abroad and apply to colleges soon, you might want to stick around till the end of this video because I am gonna be giving a lot of tips that I personally wish someone had given me when I was applying to colleges. I've tried to summarize all the main points and make this as informative as I can for all of y'all and not bore y'all at the same time. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get right into it. So the very first step, according to me, is to figure out what it is that you actually want to do, because college is really expensive and college abroad is even more expensive. So you really want to be sure what you're investing your money in, like a course that you really like and a course that you actually see yourself making a career out of in the future. Because if you're going to be spending so much on studying abroad, you want to make sure that you're going to make the most of it. So I think the very first step is to figure out what it is that really excites you, what it is that you see yourself waking up to do 10 years down the line and not get bored of. I think spend some time, talk to your parents about it. Maybe they have some suggestions. Our parents do know us better than we know ourselves, so I think it's really helpful to talk to your parents if you're slightly confused about what career paths to choose. Talk to your teachers at school, talk to your career counselors at school. Really use all the resources that you have. I'd say start figuring this out at least a year before you graduate. I would really say research. Use the internet to your best advantage. It's like the biggest tool that we've been gifted with. So I'd say start this process as early as you can. Now if you're someone like me, I have known that I wanted to do baking and pastry arts management at least for the past 10 years. I would say I told my mom that I wanted to be a pastry chef when I was 7 or 8, so I've pretty much always known what I wanted to do. This journey is going to be slightly more easier for you just because if you know what you're looking for, it's easier to find it. Once you do your research, you should probably have figured out what it is that you exactly want to do. And if you're still really confused, if that means taking a year off, I highly suggest doing it. I don't know why in India we take taking a year off as a bad thing. That 1 year is gonna give you time to really focus and figure out what it is that you want to do. I'd say take it. It's better to take a year off than waste a lot of money. So that's definitely something that you should talk to your parents about. I just wanted to briefly talk about this before I got into this video, just for anyone that is still confused about what it is that they want to do. I wanted to just cover this point for you. One of the points that I also wanted to mention over the course of this video is most of the points that I'm going to be speaking about in this video generally apply to most colleges abroad, whether that's in the US, Europe or Canada. Most of them are pretty valid for all these countries, but there are going to be some points that I'm going to be talking about that's specifically for Canadian colleges and universities, and I will mention whenever those points are specific to Canadian colleges or universities. Now I am more experienced in application to Canadian colleges and universities because I only applied to Canada and I didn't apply to other countries. Enough of that, we're gonna move on to all the steps that you're gonna want to follow once you decide what course you want to take. So let's get into them. Say if you have a concept in your head of what you want to do, try to figure out what the course name is so you can look for the course more easily. Once you do look for your course, I'd say pick a couple of countries. If you are not too keen on coming to a particular country and you're keen on just your course, I'd say pick a couple of countries. Maybe Google like the top 10 universities in Toronto or like the top 10 universities in the US, and I think go off of that list. So once you have a list of the top 10 universities or colleges in your line of work for that particular country, I'd say make a list and go on to each and every one of these colleges' websites and check if course that you want being provided at that institute. A lot of colleges have a tab called courses on their website, which is where they have a list of all of their courses that they provide. So I'd say go through each and every college's website, and once you figure out that they have the course that you're looking for, I'd say the next step is to look at the requirements and the prerequisites to get into that course. A lot of courses I know are very competitive, so you need a certain number of grades, you need like extracurricular activities, you need a certain grade in your IELTS, TOEFL or your SATs. So yeah, I'd say definitely look at all the prerequisites and make notes of every college's requirements so you can have them all in one place, and that's going to save you a lot of trouble. I'd say be organized from the get-go, so when things are gonna get harder in a couple of weeks or months when you're actually applying to these colleges, at least you're organized and you know where everything is and that everything is in a particular order. So I'd say definitely be organized from the get-go. Once you know what the prerequisites are for your particular course, I will tell you that most Canadian colleges and universities make international students take the IELTS exam or the IELTS exam, which is basically a standardized English exam that most kids have to take in order to come to Canada or any Canadian colleges. A couple of colleges make an exemption towards the IELTS exam just because they have their own standardized tests at the college and they don't want your IELTS grades. So definitely check if your college needs your IELTS grades or not. But I am pretty sure that for your visa, in order to apply for a student visa, you do need your IELTS marks. I applied to 5 colleges in Toronto and all 5 colleges needed me to submit my IELTS grades, and that was a part of the prerequisites on the course. It's all written on their website, so that's why I asked y'all to look at your college's website and see what the requirements are for your course. Now that we've covered what standardized exam you have to take in order to apply for your colleges, I would say register for that particular exam as soon as I can. Now I know the IELTS exam grades are valid for a year after you take the exam, so I'd say use that to your advantage and take it as earlier on in the year as you can and get that out of the way, just because as admission season rolls around, a lot of people are trying to sign up for these exams and a lot of the seats get occupied very fast, and then you're put on a really long wait list to even take the exam. That's why I'm telling y'all to take this exam as soon as you can before admission season rolls around, just so you're better prepared than everyone else and you're not rushing to take this exam super last minute. Also, for all of these exams, you have to study for them, and they're pretty expensive exams. Now the IELTS exam, I think, is somewhere around 12 to 13,000 Indian rupees to take. So I would definitely say study for it and take it seriously and clear it the first time around, just because you don't want to waste money and time taking the exam again. So I would say please take it seriously and study for it, and try to do as well as you can. Most Canadian colleges have a minimum, they need you to get at least 6 bands in the IELTS exam. The point that you should really take away from this is please sign up for your exams as soon as you can. What documents you will need to apply to colleges generally. Now, the first and foremost important document that you need is your passport. I would say please have a valid passport. If your passport is anywhere near expiry, start the process of renewing your passport. If you're someone that has to make any sort of changes of your name, your address, or any details on your passport, now is the time to do it. Get to it like ASAP, just because we all know the passport office work in India takes forever, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight or even in a couple of weeks. So really hop on that. You will need a valid passport to even be able to apply for your standardized tests, because when you sign up for your standardized test, they ask for your valid passport number and various other details of your passport. So even to sign up for this test, you need a valid passport. The second piece of document that you would need are your transcripts, which usually they ask for your secondary and your post-secondary transcripts, which are basically grade 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. So I'd say please find all your original transcripts and keep them in one file, so you have them all in one place. I know a lot of us tend to just throw our transcripts away once we graduate because we think we'll never need them, but I'm glad my mom kept them all in a file, so it was really easy to find. If you've misplaced your transcript by any chance, I think you should be able to go back to your school or your college and ask them to issue you a new one. I think they're going to charge you for it, but yeah, that's always an option where you can go and talk to them about it and tell them why you need it, and they should be able to print you a new one out. The other thing that I'm aware of and I wanted to mention is some courses require you to upload a resume or a CV. This is again depending on your course. For mine, I did not have to, but if your course specifies that you have to upload a resume or a CV, you also might want to start looking at if you want to do externships to add them onto your CV, and if you're required to do externships to show them on your CV, then you want to get on this ASAP. Because no one's going to give you an externship last minute, and you cannot do an externship for 2 weeks and expect them to give you a letter. So those are all things that you should consider. So the next step, once you have all your documents in order, is to set up or create your account on the college's website or their application portal. All of the details should be on your college's website, whichever ones you've picked. They should have some sort of portal where you submit your applications. So make sure you get your application deadlines written down. Write it on every freaking calendar in your house, everybody's calendar on their phones. Like, do whatever you gotta do, but do not miss your application deadline, just because of the fact that most colleges do a very first come first serve basis. So if your application was the first few ones to go in, then you are highly likely to be the first few people to hear back from the college. So yeah, I'd say please don't miss your application deadline. I'd say go get a scan of every document and keep it safely. Now a lot of people tend to forget this step for some odd reason, and then everyone's running around to get scans super last minute. Don't be one of those people. I was one of those people. So go get all the documents scanned and have it backed up on a hard drive, have it backed up on your Google Drive, save it on your laptop, create a folder, email it to your parents so you'll all have copies and it won't get misplaced easily. Once you've checked all the documents that you need and you have a scan of all the documents that you need for your application, you can move on to the next step. So check when your application date is, when the first day to apply for your college is, and this is when your actual process begins. Logged into your portal via the account you created. Now you should be able to select the course that you want to apply for. I am pretty sure you can apply for multiple courses on the same application as well. I was able to apply for multiple courses on the same application. You just have to add on every course that you're interested in applying for. Some colleges require you to create different applications for different courses. That's also something you want to look into if you're someone that's applying for multiple courses. Should be able to access the application form wherein you have to fill in all your details. Please be very careful about the details that you fill in. Please make sure they're all spelled correctly, they're all written in the right format, and you're being absolutely honest on your application. Once you've filled out all your personal information and all the details on the application form, you should be prompted to upload all your documents. And this is where all the scanned documents come in handy. You attach all the documents that your website asks you for. Most colleges do have an application fees, which is a certain amount of money that you have to pay to even apply to the particular college. Now the prices of these application fees really vary depending on the popularity of the college. Check out how much the application fees is and allocate your resources for it. Just because you don't want to be halfway through your application and then you realize you don't have your credit card or your debit card and your parents aren't around you and then you're just stuck. So please make sure you figure out how much your application fees is and have that ready to go. I think my application fees for George Brown was somewhere around, I think $100 or $150. Again, I'm not too sure because I did this process a year ago, so I might get the numbers slightly mixed up, but it was somewhere between $100 to $200 was their application fees. Now I also know that some colleges do not have any application fees. That's also something that you want to look into. And some colleges also don't have online applications. They still want you to do a filled in application that you have to mail to them. When I say mail, I mean like courier it to them. It's literally a letter that you fill in and you send it to them. Once you've paid your application fees, you should be able to go right ahead and submit your application. Now you just have to wait it out for your decision to come around. Now this is the most nerve-wracking part. Is really scary, but I would say like maintain your composure, stay calm, try not to think about it too much, keep yourself busy and occupied with family, friends, work, internships. Just try not to stress about it too much, because you stressing is not going to make your application procedure any faster. So you're just going to put yourself through a lot of pain for no reason. Now decision turnaround times can really vary based on like when you submitted your application, the popularity of the particular course, the popularity of the college. If they have a high influx of applications coming in, then they're probably going to take more time to go through those applications and start sending out decision letters. So I'd say stay patient. A college does give you, I think, a minimum of 6 weeks till they start getting back to you. I think I submitted my application on the 19th of November for the fall intake. Again, applications for fall intake begin anywhere around November. If you're someone that's planning to go to a college for the fall semester, when I say fall semester, I mean the August to September intake, your applications should have begun by November or December. I personally sent my application out on November 19th. This was the first day to be able to apply for my course, and I sent my application in the very first day. And I think I heard back from them on the 29th of Feb, or I think the 1st of March. So you can see, even though I was one of the first people to send in my application, it still took around a month for my decision to come around. So now that you've gotten accepted into your college, firstly, congratulations, you made it. This has been a process leading up to this, but I definitely would not say that you can breathe yet, just because there are a few more steps that you need to go through before you can completely rest. There are a lot of things that you have to do even after you get your acceptance letter. So usually when your college sends you your acceptance package, the email should contain a couple of documents. Now my program was a co-op program, which basically means that I have to do an externship or work for a certain period of time, which is 1 semester in my course. So I am going to be spending 1 semester out of 4 semesters of my course actually in a field placement. So you need something called a co-op letter in order to be able to get a work permit in the country that you're going to be going to university at. So your application package or the email that they send you should basically consist of acceptance letter. If you are in a co-op program, you should have your co-op letter in it as well, and then you should have another document attached to it, which is basically your fee structure and your fees deadlines. All three of which are super important. Please keep multiple copies of your acceptance letters, save it onto all your drives and your hard drives, back it up, save your co-op letters, that is super important for your visa. Save your fee structure, outlines and deadlines, just so you know how you have to plan out your financials and when you're going to have to be paying all of these up, because you do not want to miss any of your fee deadlines. Now, your fees payment can be done in two ways. You can either pay online using your credit card, or you can make a wire transfer. Typically your college should instantly send you something called a fee payment receipt, which basically is from your college, and it looks like a bill, which is, like I said, a proof of your payment. It is a receipt that they've received the funds. This is very important because it's like a confirmation from the other end that they have received the funds and that your seat is secure. You want to keep your proof of payment, that's your confirmation receipt, very carefully. Once you've made your fee payment, you have got your confirmation and you have your fee payment receipt, we can move on to some of the other steps. So yeah, let's talk about what you're gonna do next. The first of which is, I know that having a GIC is basically a proof of funds, is super important for Canadian colleges. Some colleges GIC is compulsory. Some universities, however, do not deem this compulsory. It is the choice of the college, but I will say that having a GIC does highly benefit your visa application. It basically makes your application more fancy than anyone else's, and it's more likely that your application with a GIC attached to it is going to get accepted as compared to someone who does not have GIC. Now, if you're wondering what a GIC is, let me explain it to you before you get really confused. A GIC is basically you setting up a bank account with a bank in the country that you're going to be studying in. For me, that was any Canadian banking institution. So you basically set up an account in Canada with this bank. I bank with Scotiabank, and honestly it's been the best experience. So I highly recommend anyone that's moving to Canada using Scotiabank. You basically set up an account, you create an application for an account, and you have to basically transfer an X number of funds into that account. The minimum that you have to transfer is $10,000. When I transferred $10,000, they basically had a $200 service fee. How this works is the minute you land in Canada, you go to Scotiabank, you show them your GIC certificate, and they basically open your account for you, and they instantly give you your debit card, and you can choose to apply for a credit card, and it takes a couple of days for your credit card to be mailed to your address, but they do instantly give you your debit card. And once you open your account and your debit card is all set up, I think they transfer you $1,000 the first month, after which they give you $700 to $800 every month. Personally, my parents only send me my rent every month. That's a monthly transfer that they make. Besides that, every month I get my GIC money, which is $700 to $800. Once you've transferred this fund, you get something called a GIC certificate, and this basically completes your whole process of applying and getting into your college. After this point is when your visa application process begins. I'm not gonna talk about the visa application process in this video, just because it will make this video super lengthy if I do choose to get into the visa process, because that is a whole different video on its own, and it's a lot of information as well. So do leave me a comment down below if you are interested in watching a video about the visa application process for a student visa. And I would love to make that video for y'all. If I've missed out any points in this video that you have personally used, or any tips and tricks that I have missed out in this video, please leave them in the comments down below so we can help anyone in need. And yeah, before I end this video, I would like to say all the best to anyone that's applying to colleges. I really hope you get into your dream college, and I hope you get into your dream course. I'm not gonna lie, it is a very mentally, physically and emotionally exhausting procedure, and it is a long journey till getting to that point, but trust me, take it from someone that has lived abroad for the past 7 months, it is all worth it. All the tension and stress is temporary. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned in this video, if I was unclear and you still have some questions about some things, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram. I'm gonna leave my handle right here. I'm also gonna leave the link of my Instagram in the description down below, so feel free to DM me and ask me questions. I have people asking me questions on my DMs all the time, and I promise I do reply to them. I think I've like pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I have put a lot of thought into this. I've like brainstormed everything that I have been doing in this process. Now again, I would like to emphasize on the fact that all of these steps were done a year ago. I don't know if any of the rules have changed ever since then. I don't know if there are any sort of changes that were made, so that's definitely something you want to check. I would like to end this video by saying, if you like this video and it was even minutely helpful to you, please give this video a thumbs up, just so more people can find it and we can help more people. If you know any of your friends that are also going to study abroad, please send this video to them, because I know it's going to be super helpful for them. So help a friend out, help me out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and switch on the bell icon to get notified every time I upload new videos, just so you don't miss out on them. But yeah, I guess that's it for this video, you guys. It was lovely sitting down and having this nice long talk with y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.